Peace guys, this is LJ. Today I got something a little different for y'all. So we're going to be building today. I'm going to be starting a new building series where I show you guys how I build teams. And yeah. Now I don't typically take a short time when I build teams. Not that I really struggle putting them together, but the more like refined I try to make them, because I like weigh a bunch of scenarios and matchups and all of that, so sometimes it can take long, but sometimes it can take like as quick as 10 minutes or even shorter than that, so we'll just have to see. If it does take longer, I'll just chop the video up to points where it's you know, it can go along pretty quickly and smoothly, because I do want to get some battles in with the team once we finish building with it. But the goal of building this team is to make AV Heatran work, like to make it really work, not just, yeah, I want to make this thing like really work. AV Heatran is something I've been interested in since Heatran first came out. If we just take a look here at Heatran's general bulk, yeah, if we take a look at his general bulk, we can see like it's super bulky, decent HP, but considering like it's okay HP. We generally probably go about max HP, but yeah, the only thing that Heatran doesn't have going for it really is its speed, so we definitely will want speed control on the team. Not Trick Room though. I don't want to run Trick Room with this, but I will put some speed investment into it, and then the remainder will go straight into special attack. But these will be the 4 moves I'll likely be running. Now I did get inspiration from a team that Aaron Cybertron posted, or showcased rather, on his channel. Now the Heatran that was on his channel was Magma Storm, Heat Wave, Flash Cannon, Earth Power, and I thought it was really interesting because before, when I tried making Heatran kind of try to make it work, rather than Magma Storm, I would just put Fire Blast, honestly, just for a strong single attack fire move. But the interesting thing about Magma Storm is that it's like I don't always have to go for this, and if I do go for it, it's going to be a scenario where either I have to go for it to the point where it can likely win me the game, or put me in a position where I can have a much better chance of winning, or it could be a buy turn, so to say, where I don't actually have to connect it, and I'll be like and I'll lose so much momentum by not connecting it, because I mean, you see the accuracy is 75, so it's going to miss. But if it does connect, they can't switch, they're going to get burned. I can't protect because I'm AV, but they're going to get burned, they're going to get trapped, and then take the trap damage for a turn and whatnot. So it has its merits, but I've never actually used Magma Storm before, so I'm interested to try it out. The Terra Fairy, I just like Terra Fairy more than Terra Grass, because Terra Fairy allows me to live fighting. It allows me to take fighting moves better. It gives me a very strong Pokemon that it can take like strong dark type attacks, and giving Heatran's bulk, you know, it'll be taking those things pretty well. And all of the dark types, well, the majority of the dark types that are viable are very weak to Heatran. If we just take a glance here, we have Chi-Yu, Chi-Empao. You know, Chi-Yu gets earth powered and it's like left with like 15% of its HP. Chi-Empao gets one shot. Grimmsnarl gets 2-hit KO by Flash Cannon. King Gambit gets 2-hit KO or one shot. If I had Magma Storm, is getting one shot, but Heat Wave is like a 2-hit KO, I want to say. You see occasional Moltres here and there. It's not really common though. But Moltres, I mean, if we Terra Dark, it's a pretty good it can take the hits pretty well. Especially if we trap Moltres. Oh yeah, yeah, I didn't even consider that, but yeah, that's actually pretty good. Roaring Moon is like the only dark type that we don't deal with well. Urshifu's taking a ton because it's low special defense. T-Tar is still taking a good chunk because of its typing. So yeah, so all of the dark types are pretty susceptible to Heatran. So the Terra Fairy is really valuable on it. And then of course getting rid of its common weaknesses in ground, water, and fighting. So this is what I want on it. Now I'm inclined to go this much speed, and the reason I'm inclined to go this much speed is because it's faster than like min speed Rillaboom. So I'll show you guys real quick. Like if we look here, yeah, Rillaboom hits 105. Now people do run speed on Rillaboom, obviously. Like you're going to run speed on your Rillaboom, but I mean, there's a chance that somebody may only run 106. So just being 107 can put you one above it. Same with Indeedee. Some Indeedees may not be minus speed nature, so but they won't really run speed. They'll just run like 252 like this. So we can outspeed Indeedees. What else is base 85? Let's see. Indeedee, Crest, yeah, outspeed Cresses that aren't like min speed, like some of those supportive Cresses that don't really rely heavily on Trick Room. I think we speed tie with min speed backs, but I don't know who wouldn't run some speed on backs. Como-O, if Como doesn't have speed, but you should, I would put speed on Como-O. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Outspeed Goldingo. But I do know some Goldingos don't run a whole lot of speed. Opposing Heatrans. Armarouge. Oh yeah, that's why I wanted to run 107. But in hindsight, I might actually lower it a bit, because people are not running 106 speed on Rillaboom. You're going to have more than that, so I'm actually just going to go 104. And then Indeedee really won't do much. It really cannot do much, rather. So I'll just put that much speed, 52. And then we'll go 204 on the special attack. I'm seeing if there's any reason for what hits 20. Bundle hits 20. Oh yeah, okay, this is good, because I was wondering why 104, because I knew there was a reason, because I used to run this on Gyarados, I think. Yeah, I used to run this on Gyarados, but because if I'm under Tailwind, I'm not sure I want to run Tailwind yet, but if I'm under Tailwind, or if I get 2 speed drops on like a bundle or something like that, it's faster than bundle, because bundle is 206. So that's why it's 104. So this is the spread I'm going to go with. And as for another Pokemon, so oh yeah, before we continue, another thing I like to use is this website here, Maryland. It's like a team builder. It doesn't like put together a team for you, but just so I can like see like my overall team weaknesses. It's just like a good reference, and just in case I miss anything. So I just like to have that backup by putting it in here sometimes. So the thing we know immediately is like, how can we make this Heatran work? So it's going to take hits well from things like Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, Goldingo, opposing Heatran, Armarouge, Bundle. It's going to take hits pretty well. So, and Polion, people still run that. So yeah. So the main thing we need to be covering for my Heatran is the physical attackers, which immediately we can try to bring. What probably comes to mind immediately is Landorus or Shifu. I won't say Rillaboom. Rillaboom gets high horsepower, but not really too worried about that. But Urshifu, Landorus, Iron Hands. What else do people run? Urshifu, Landorus, Iron Hands. Oh yeah, Roaring Moon, right? Roaring Moon. Though Roaring Moon doesn't do a whole lot to us. We still don't hit Roaring Moon super well, but pretty much those 4 are like the premier physical attackers, I believe. Yeah. One good thing about all those Pokemon I just mentioned, there's actually a niche Pokemon that I've been trying to make work as well, which is Galarian-Zapdos. Because I said Landorus, right? Well, look at this ability here, Defiant. There's that. Landorus can't one-shot us unless it tears us. We get Defiant boost, so we pretty much generally just OHKO most things. Because I'm going to run Life Orb with this. Life Orb, Brave Bird, like it's doing a lot. At +1. But yeah, I said Landorus or Shifu. Again, Urshifu's not one-shotting this unless it tears or it has Mystic Water, which I actually want to verify that if Mystic Water even KOs it without before Terra. Yeah, even with, okay, they have 180, 150. I don't run. If I was running this, I would run 180. Okay. Yeah, even Mystic Water does a one-shot, so they have to commit a Terra. But I'm always one-shotting them no matter what, unless they Terra. But at +1, I'll guarantee KO them. How much does Thunderous Kick do? Because I'm running that also. At +1, it's almost a KO. That's pretty nice. So yeah, so Urshifu, and then I said Iron Hands. Now Iron Hands, obviously this does not help with Iron Hands. It can take a Drain Punch, but that's really not what it's there for. But it will do a lot to Iron Hands. Let's see here. Nobody's running that. Let's see. I put like what I run, so 140. Not running that. Something like this. Okay. That's choice. Oh, wait, I had choice band calc. Oh lord. Yeah, that's not correct. Okay, so even on like just a standard Iron Hands, I'm pretty much like 2-hit KOing it. But I wouldn't just outright Brave Bird. I'd Thunderous Kick, but you know, still doing a good bit. And then also the Roaring Moon. Now the Roaring Moon, we can hit it pretty well, but it also is not it's also threatening us pretty immensely too, because of our fighting typing. I just want to see how much a booster energy speed it. Okay, so it won't KO me. What if it Terra Flyings? Yeah, okay, I figured. So the good news is that I can actually live one of these if I don't Terra. I mean, if they don't Terra, if it's speed boosting, but if it's offensive, which is attack boosting, booster energy, then we have no hope. So that's just something to keep in mind. So I'll put Zapdos here. Okay. Now, there's really no other move that I see being necessary, because nothing guards against this typing combination here. So having Taunt can really throw off some other Pokemon that might want to set up, or just take advantage of the fact that nothing is like really resisting flying and fighting, I don't think, in this format. I'd have to look again, but I don't think anything takes that. There probably is something, but it's like super niche that nobody's going to use it. Oh, Goldingo. No, okay, I take that back. Goldingo. Yeah, what am I saying? Goldingo. Does this get knockoff? It does. Okay, that's something I have to consider, because I do actually want to run Taunt on this, just so I can shut down setup and, you know, things like Amoonguss Spore, or Redirection, things that could like try to burn me, or Will-O-Wisp, things of that nature. But knockoff is not something bad to consider. But I do have this AV Heatran here, so we'll keep Zapdos on the we'll keep an eye on Zapdos, because I am interested in that in knockoff. Now in terms of Terra typing, I could wait to put the Terra typing honestly, but I'm inclined to do Steel just because of its weaknesses, you know, flying, ice, fairy, psychic, and electric. And Steel is going to make us defensively guard against 4 out of 5 of those. I mean, it's just an all-around better one. Now I could go Terra Ghost, which is something I'm not against because I can avoid fake outs, I can avoid E-speeds. Yeah, just something to think about, but I'll likely keep Terra Steel. So Iron Hands is still, you know, Iron Hands. It's still gonna cause us some trouble. So I do have 4 slots left to work with, right? So let's see what we want to do here. And I also don't have so keeping in mind our weaknesses here, which is like water, water, electric, rock, ghost, and fire. Well, Heatran doesn't, well, fire, Heatran's flash fire, but, and I'm not building the team like again with, oh, I need to make sure that I can like defensively guard against every type. That's not, like, again, not the goal here. The goal is to just make sure that my team is sound enough to be able to match up, to be able to handle itself against particular matchups that are common. Like, for instance, the dragon attacks really are not common at all, so I'm not even concerned about this. It's like the occasional Regidrago, but it's nice to have one resist, but I'm not going to be like, okay, I really need to have like a bunch of dragon resist. Like, nah, not like that. But we know Urshifu's common, Urshifu water, and Urshifu water is commonly paired with Torn, right? So we need to make sure we can like handle flying plus water, which is a typing that I don't think anything can guard against. Well, Empoleon can guard against, but Urshifu has that fighting stab too, so you know, it's things like that that I need to keep an eye on more than, that's kind of why I have this up right here. But that was a mouthful. I'm thinking Landorus here because it'll help me immensely against Iron Hands, because again right now I don't have anything for it. But I'm also still considering I still have my Urshifu Torn matchup in my mind right now, and I'm thinking about, because I mean, yeah, Landorus would be good to add to the team, but again, there's still that Torn Urshifu. I need to make sure I can consistently get rid of those. Now, obviously electric is very good into that archetype because they're both weak to electric, and Iron Hands is like the best candidate for it, honestly, because it doesn't take much from Bleak Wind. Urshifu has to like attack it twice to actually be able to remove it, while I'm pressuring a 1-hit KO on both of them. The only downside to this is that I now have 2 fairy resists if I go this route, but this does also help me against opposing Iron Hands. So I'll put it in for now. We'll see, because we'll put it in for now. So now I'm rocking 2 fairy resist and 2 ground resist, but the point of Iron Hands is again for the Urshifu, to help against Urshifu Torn, and also a bulky Pokemon too, that like I don't have to rely on Zapdos to be my fighting type to help against dark types, right, or steel types. Because in the case of Goldingo, I wouldn't even bother with Zapdos. I'd use Iron Hands, because you know Zapdos would just be a sitting duck against it. I can't even taunt it now that I think about it. Yeah. Okay, this is actually not a bad idea. The only downside though is that I can't run AV. It's the only downside, that we can't run AV on it, which is really nice for this Pokemon. I might have to reinvent the wheel here. I mean, if we just take a look at Iron Hands and how it's used, it's generally only used with AV. I did. Well, I mean, you'll see the occasional Swords Dance and whatnot. But yeah, AV. There's Safety Goggle Swords Dance. AV, Safety Goggle Swords Dance. Yeah. And I'm not really looking for like no Safety Goggle Swords Dance stuff. I used to experiment with this because I was trying to actually do this in the past, but I guess I'll do it now, or I'll attempt to do it again. Trying to make this work without AV, right? So again, I already said that my Heatran is very good in taking special attacks. Iron Hands' special defense is awful. But the beauty of having AV on it is that because of its typing and its just HP stat, and then if you slap on an AV on top of this, you have 180 Spadef, which makes it a very bulky tank. But I don't have to rely on it as my answer to special attacks, because the only things that actually pressure it immensely that are special attackers would be Chi-Yu and Fluttermane, which my Heatran can deal pretty well with. Because Goldingo, what else? Goldingo, I mean, even Chi-Yu, unless I'm gonna have to run this calc, but yeah, I'm gonna run this calc because I think Chi-Yu has a 2-hit KO it. Like, it's not gonna one-shot it. It might even 3-hit KO it, depending on what item I give my Iron Hands. But Ursaluna, that's probably gonna be a 2-hit KO as well, unless it's Life Orbs, which a lot of them are. So Ursaluna is something I'll have to keep in mind too, because right now we don't deal too well with that. Yeah, so like I said, Goldingo, I mean, Iron Hands is still going to do well against it. Let's run that calc real quick. This might be a lengthy video too, but that's team building. There's a lot of things you got to weigh and keep in mind. The team has to have some roadmap, but again, all this is around, I'm trying to make AV Heatran work, and that's pretty much what I'm building. It's pretty much like the center of what all of my all the questions I'm asking myself and like weighing and whatnot is revolving around. So again, Iron Hands, Chi-Yu. I typically run Sash. I'm going to calc Sash and Life Orb just so I can get an idea. Let's just put Rested Sword just so I can get an idea. See, 252 for no choice band. Not that these stats here matter, but I'm just throwing them in. So 252 Chi-Yu with Heat Wave and Timid and doubles. Okay, so that's a 3-hit KO. Overheat's a 2-hit KO, but it's actually probably a 3-hit KO if they don't have yeah. Now Life Orb, let's see, Life Orb Heat Wave. Life Orb Heat Wave is a 60. Okay, that's too high. I at least want that to 2-hit KO. But if it's modest, then I'm not about to run enough to take a modest one. And I generally don't want to. I need to make these level 50. I generally don't like to put much investment into HP just because the HP stat is already so high, and putting into other stats could be very beneficial. But if I'm trying to make it, if I'm trying to like build it for a specific purpose, then I guess I should invest in the HP. But it's more valuable still. Like, you get the most bang for your buck putting it into the other stats. Well, at least we take a Life Orb overheat. But looking at that calc, modest, looking at that calc, we don't take a specs one. Right, and I'd have to run an absurd amount of, no, not even that much HP would help me. Let's try Timid. I still have to run way too much HP. Yeah, I'm not running max HP back, nah. I'm not running that. I would have to run a careful nature, which I really don't like doing. It would help this thing's survivability, but I just personally don't like doing it because like I get like so little out of it because of its SPDF stat. Like it's already so low. But if I want to make sure this thing can live, I'd have to run it like this against GU. Cause like you already died in a Flutter Mane. Like ain't no question about that. Oh, actually, this is actually interesting. Okay, this is interesting actually. Hold up, wait a second. Cause this is a Specs Flutter Mane right here that I run sometimes. It's a 12.5% chance to OHKO me. And that's actually a good bit of special attack into it. It's timid, but that's actually interesting. So I know I can take Dazzling Gleam for sure, just based off of. Yeah. I still have to run so much HP. Let's see how this looks. 156. So my attack is 173. Yeah, we're not one-shotting anything with that kind of attack stat. But given that it doesn't have AV, it's like I really can't invest a whole lot into attack unless I'm yeah, unless it's given that I'm not AV, I can't really invest a whole lot into attack unless I'm like a Sword Stance set, which I'm not. So I think this might be for the better good, because we already don't have AV, so like to make sure this thing can live, we need to run it like this kind of way and still be able to do damage. Because I mean, 170 attack is still like no pushover, but it's definitely not like as threatening as it could be, you know what I'm saying? Because like we're not one-shotting no Urshifus, not even no Torns. Oh, I actually can one-shot it. What? Really? Wow. At least this spread particularly, but Urshifu, that ain't getting one-shot. Not even close. I'm gonna have to put some priority on this team. If I can't one-shot Urshifu, I'm gonna have to put some priority on this team, which I'm okay with. 173. I like 174. Let's see if I drop my attack one more stage. Can I still KO that Torn that I calced earlier? Oh, I can drop it actually quite a bit. I can drop it quite a bit. The thing is though, like where would these stats go if I do this? I'm not running like no super fast Iron Hands. I like 75. Yeah, we'll go with 75. I run it just like this. So Wild Charge, Drain Punch, Fake Out, and Volt Switch is going to be my moves. So no Heavy Slam, no Ice Punch, because my attack stat is already so low, so I'm not about to put more attacks on there. Just make it more of a pivot, a Fake Out pivoter, and keep it around for, you know, those Pokemon that like Goldingo, no, I'm sorry, Shifu, or Shifu Torn, those things of that nature. And opposing Iron Hands. Opposing Iron Hands will clap us though, because my attack stat is so low, so I will lose that matchup. I want to put Citrus Berry though, just to help its survivability. But opposing hands will like beat me 1v1 So I likely need some form of Intimidate. So again, Iron Hands, I get what I put here helps against Iron Hands, but it also is going to help me immensely against that Urshifu-Torn matchup. Now, I can't allow their Iron Hands to like put up so much pressure on me. If I look at the Intimidators, I mean, I could go Amoonguss, so I could redirect its attacks actually. That way I wouldn't have to run Intimidate. But who doesn't want to run Intimidate? Let's see, because as of right now, like the team is not like fast. The team doesn't have much speed at all right now. And if I go Amoonguss, the team's going to be even slower. Which isn't a problem, but like the last two would need to be fast. Or somewhat fast. Because I do still need... Let's see. Because I do still need something to... I'm losing my train of thought. Well, I do still have like the double Fairy week. If I go Amoonguss, I have a triple Psychic week, which I really don't care about, honestly. But I would just run like Terra Dark Amoonguss and just beat Trick Room that way. Having the Zapdos though makes it to where I really don't have to run Terra Flying on Landorus. I could just be Terra Water. So I would end up going Rillaboom. Over Amoonguss if I wanted to keep that, in order for me to keep that priority. And my last would be Iron Bundle. That way I can still manage the speed. Still have something for those the Terra Dragons that be running around. But again, still provide myself speed control. Yeah, and this also further helps against Iron Hands, but this also further helps against Torn or Shifu matchups. Gives me a Fire Water Grass Core, though Bundle's not, I don't even consider Bundle a water type because it has that ice typing. So I would definitely have to put Terra Fire on, no, Terra Water, sorry, on this. This would need probably Terra Fire, right? I mean, probably not, because I don't need to run at horsepower. I have 2 Pokemon with ground moves already. I'll probably go Terra Water on Rillaboom too. I have a triple ice weakness. Let me put this in the team. But I have a triple ice weakness, but also have Bundle and Heatran. But if I have Terra Water too, that'll help it. I'll go Terra Water. So Rillaboom, Landorus, and Iron Bundle. Okay, so now let's take a look at the team. So, okay, so now I can clearly see what the team does not have. It has no Ghost Resist, and Ghost is pretty common. Now, Ghost type attacks aren't the strongest, but particularly like Specs Flutter Mane can make it strong, as well as like Nasty Plot and Goldingo. I mean, I do have Heatran, but that's pretty much it. I'd have to run Terra Dark on something that can help against those two. But other than that, let's see. this is an interesting team because the way I see this team working is, you know, it may like, this is how I see the team working right now. But I mean, teams are going to have weaknesses. I'll just say that teams are going to have weaknesses, but you know, you can't get too caught up in the weaknesses because there's still things we have to consider. We have to consider the format. We have to consider Pokemon that I need some more. Yeah, so teams are going to have weaknesses. That's a given, but don't need to like over focus on them, on the weaknesses, so to say. Like being aware of the weaknesses it's important, but we don't have to like tunnel vision on the weaknesses because again, like there's certain viable Pokemon, and the Pokemon that aren't so viable aren't going to like be so prominent that they can, or like have such a presence that even though my team may be weak to their type, it's not like I can't beat them or anything like that. Just thinking, like, even if I were to try to put a dark type on this team, I just don't see where I could get that in. I'd have to like have a Terra Dark probably. I run Terra Dark Rillaboom actually, and just run Glide knockoff, something like this. Yeah, the only dark type, because then I would have like a triple fairy weakness, and that's too much. Considering that I only have a Heatran, that triple would be too much. I'm looking at Zapdos again though I do love the Defiant on the team just because Intimidate it's just such a staple in competitive in VGC particularly. And like this thing is super oppressive. I mean super oppressive. But if we look at Landorus, right, and we look at Iron Hands, these two do the same thing that these two combined do the same thing that Zapdos does, right? If I just Terra Flying Landorus, which is very common, then it does very strong flying stab, right? Fighting, though my Iron Hands is quite neutered here, it's still going to do a good chunk of damage. That's the only thing about Zapdos. Because I'm looking at it, I'm thinking about that dark type. Because like, hopefully you guys can see what I'm saying. Like they do like the same thing. If I put Terra Flying on my Landorus. Well, like what dark type would even like replace this and still be okay? Because the Intimidators, right? Or we have Landorus, Arcanine, the occasional Gyarados. I think Gyarados is decent, but pretty much that's it. I just need to make sure this dark type can handle the Landorus pretty well, because my Zapdos can actually cook Landorus, which is the common Intimidator. Now, because Landorus have the Terra, but I also have Bundle that outspeeds it. My own Landorus is going to be annoying for it. Things like that. It'd have to be like Chiempao. But if I go Chiempao, and Chiempao is not like it's not really like a ghost switch in. That's not, yeah, no. Chiempao is not a switch in for ghost type attacks. Really, it doesn't even have to like necessarily be like, if I had AV on if I had AV on Iron Hands, it would be okay. Like just like I have AV on Heatran, so I actually might be okay with this because the ghost type attacks again are special, and I do intend to run Terra Dark on Rillaboom, so I might just keep it honestly, because the other dark types are not going to really avail me much, especially because I have Bundle, so I wouldn't even be able to run Booster Energy or Roaring Moon. Yeah, I'm just going to run the team as is. We're not going to go any further with that. All right, so now let's put the pieces. We got the pieces now. Let's give the pieces some purpose. So pretty standard Landorus. I'm gonna run Rock Slide and Rock Tomb. I'm not running Terra Flying. Again, I have Zapdos, so we don't need to do that. So I'd rather have a more defensive one. Still offensive, but have a defensive Terra. And well, I'm not Terra Flying anymore, so how fast? I still want to make this like fast. I'm just thinking about how much bulk I want to give it, but I don't think I want to give it much bulk. I just want to run it like this. And I like 196 Adamant because it gives me that extra 2 right here with the attack for just the price of 8 EVs. There's also another point I want to say around 196, yeah, 196 to 198. You'll probably see like some of the common spreads are 116. That's why. But let's take it a step further. Now my Rillaboom is going to have Miracle Seed. The beauty of only running Grassy Glide is because obviously it's there to like, you know, hit things before they can move, but like I don't have Wood Hammer. They're like, this is my only grass type move. The only thing that's going to be blocking this from being able to for this attack to go off is Farigiraf, and I have Knockoff. That's the beauty of this set. I really like this set. Even Grassy Glide horsepower is decent too. But yeah, and you're still going to be hit pretty hard Grassy Glides because of the Miracle Seed. So like I said earlier, about my Rillaboom speed, I like 114 on mine, somewhere around there, especially if I'm running a set like this with 236, 100 here. Actually no, I generally go 109. At times I'll go 114 just so I can outspeed Arcanines that aren't that fast. Do I want to do that here? It's not like I'm AV Rillaboom anyway, so my special defense is not that. I don't have to like over focus on my special defense here. Yeah, because I already have a special defensive Iron Hands and AV Heatran. So I'll just focus. Yeah, I'll make it 114. Oh yeah, I didn't give this thing a Terra. Terra Water. Terra Water, because again, Bundle's not a legit water type. That's why. So these two will be with Terra Water, Terra Dark, and then just a standard Iron Bundle. Do I want Hydro Pump? I'll put it there for now. Hydro Pump might change to something else, like Encore, but I'll keep it there for now. So I hope you guys can kind of see how I was able to put this team together. I guess I didn't really like allude much on these two, so I'll do that real quick. But the reason I put these was because I did say I wanted priority, because I don't have a way to like consistently outspeed Shifu under Tailwind, which can be a problem. And I also have Iron Hands now and Rillaboom and Bundle, which is amazing for it. But I did explain the dark part, even though we have no ghost resist, but I did kind of explain that. But the Bundle is to help regulate speed, pretty much, just to help regulate speed, because we don't have Tailwind. My team is pretty it's not slow, but it does have some slow members like Heatran, Hands, Rillaboom, But in order to like further enable my faster Pokemon, I need speed control. That yeah, I need speed control. And I could put Torn, but the thing about Torn is that it gets up Tailwind, and I don't need it to like do anything else. So like, why waste that when I can still get up speed control with something else that also has a typing that's very beneficial for me, for hitting those flying types, for being able to take water type attacks, pressuring opposing water types, and yeah. But that's why I put Bundle there. And I don't need Flutter Mane either. I don't need the fairy typing. I have Pokemon that already hit the fighting types very well. Flying here, Drain Punch. I mean, Iron Hands is very good into all the fighting types, pretty much. My Landorus is decent. Heatran hits them pretty well. Like, everything hits them pretty well. I don't need Flutter Mane because Flutter Mane is not going to take water hits. Flutter Mane is not going to take Sucker Punches super well, though I have these two. But you see what I'm saying? Like, priority attacks. Bundle can take those things much better because of his defense. So that's why I chose those two for my last. Just in case I didn't clarify that enough earlier. So that will be the team, guys. I hope again that you were able to follow along and learn how I built my teams. If anything didn't make sense, definitely feel free to call me out in the comment section. I'll try to elaborate and make it make plainer sense if I didn't do a good job already. But yeah, if you guys do appreciate these kind of videos, definitely let me know. This is my first time doing one of these. Pretty interesting. This is like uncut, pretty much. No script, no nothing, just outright building from scratch. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and next live, look forward to us using this team. I will practice a bit with it, but if I do find some flaws with it, I'll like change those little things, and I'll make sure I point those out in the next video. So yeah, until next time, guys, y'all take care. Peace.